tense confrontation between an off-duty Chicago police sergeant and an Indianapolis man who allegedly failed to drop his weapon when asked is caught on camera and ends in gunfire. 25-year-old Joshua Beal is shot by police. The victim's brother, Michael, is arrested after attempting to disarm the off-duty officer who killed his brother, and becomes one of the more than 8,000 men and women held in pretrial detention at Cook County Jail. A judge set bond at $500,000, which meant Michael would be responsible for 10% or $50,000. Katrina Walker has been in Michael Beal's shoes. She spent 9 months in Cook County Jail awaiting trial. The mother of 3 was charged with retail theft last year after stealing a $23 outfit for her 4-year-old daughter.
I lost my job, my family. I lost relationships with my family. You know, it was real hard.
Unable to meet the $1,500 required for the $15,000 bond set for her, Katrina took a plea in an effort to get back to her children and family.
There was a lot of girls in the same situation, waiting to get bailed out. Their family didn't have no money. They didn't have the money. So it's like when you go to jail, your family be locked up too.
The Constitution is violated whenever bail is set in an amount that is too high for the defendant to post, and it results in disastrous consequences for the taxpayers, for the defendant, and for society in general.
Attorney Matthew Piers is among those filing a class action lawsuit against Sheriff Tom Dart and the Cook County Circuit judges. It alleges that thousands are being illegally detained in Cook County Jail due solely to their inability to pay their cash bonds. Here in Cook County, it costs $150 a day to keep someone locked up in pretrial detention.
Looking at someone like Katrina, who was in for 9 months, that cost taxpayers a lot in the direct cost of her incarceration, over $35,000 in fact, but it also cost Katrina and her family and her community.
We caught up with Charlene Grace of the Chicago Community Bond Fund as she was working to secure the release of Michael Beal, the brother of police shooting victim Joshua Beal. Charlene is part of a coalition of lawmakers, attorneys, and advocates working to end the cash bail system in the state of Illinois and across the nation.
It's a very serious determination that these judges are making.
Okay, if everybody would kindly stand up and raise your right hand.
If you let a dangerous person out, of course, that's dangerous to all of us. On the other hand, the decision to keep somebody incarcerated, and that is a decision that a judge is in fact making when he sets a bail at an amount higher than a defendant can make, that has drastic consequences for that defendant. Consequences which run the range from higher likelihood of being convicted, higher likelihood of getting a worse prison sentence, higher likelihood of completely disrupting that person's economic and social and personal life so that reintegration into society at some point becomes that much harder, and we pay for it. All of us pay for it.
But there are still some who believe cash bail provides an incentive to comply with the courts.
Some of the opposition comes from people who think we are a safer society with a cash bail system.
There is no evidence, zero evidence, the cash bail system has worked. None.
Cook County Sheriff Tom Dart, who is a defendant in the lawsuit, agrees.
You won't be any less safe without a cash bail system. That in jurisdictions where they've done that, they haven't found that to be the case.
One thing both Piers and Dart can agree on is that Washington, D.C. is a model for reform. The district has all but eliminated the cash bail system. That has saved nearly $400 million a year by releasing defendants into supervision programs that are far less expensive than keeping them behind bars. The district also found that 90% of the defendants show up for their court dates and 91% of them stay out of trouble while free. For people like Arnold Julian, the class action lawsuit is just one piece of the puzzle. They also want to see a change in the law.
With the current legislation that we have on the books in Illinois, it says that a judge must consider 30 different things before issuing the bond. Bond court on average is 15 to 27 seconds long, and there's absolutely no way you can consider 30 things, especially when you have 100 to 200 people coming through bond court on a nightly basis.
The system itself is not working. And we need to change that. We need to change this system so it's not a system that cares about how wealthy you are.
Matthew Piers maintains that the Cook County Sheriff and his staff are working diligently toward helping to reduce and eliminate the cash bond system in Cook County.
The issue of as far as how quickly can we get things in motion, this will take a little bit of time to legislatively change from a bail system to a non-bail system.
Until that day comes, those on pretrial detention will have to rely on organizations like the Chicago Community Bond Fund, which last Thursday, with the help of Black Lives Matter and an anonymous donor, secured $50,000 for Michael Beale's release. He walked out of Cook County a free man and into the arms of his family.